Hello everybody, Michael here. We are playing with our token deck that hopefully you saw the deck tech of. If you haven't, go check that out. And so you can see what we're dealing with, and we will not keep this hand because this is an awful hand. So we will mulligan to 6. This is much better. Again, not ideal, but hopefully we can pull into that, into the Advent of the Worm, and that will be much better for us. But playing blue-white control, not good for our deck. Not good at all. So we are just going to, I think, play our Selesnya Guildgate, get that out of the way. We aren't under much of a threat, and we'll get in for one with our little elf. And we are doing a live commentary. I do live commentaries just on the off chance it doesn't record anyways. Oh, we are playing against blue-white heroic. That again is not very good against our. Not very good for us, actually. Reason being is because he's going to be much more aggressive than us. We are going to Sylvan Caryatid. If he doesn't have anything to pump up his guy, we can just block with Sylvan Caryatid, and that's alright. But definitely is now the point where we definitely want to be getting our guys going. So we definitely want to see that Advent of the Worm next turn. Then we can play our growing ranks and get populating with that. And just run over his guys. Oof. That's rough. So hidden strings on this deck is very aggressive. He is going to be able to pretty much tap down our blockers, but he doesn't need to because he can run over them, so he can untap his lands and use the mana to possibly do even more things. He probably has some stuff up his sleeves, and he's going to play another creature, which is not good for us. He's definitely on the aggression, and since we cannot really block, he is going to get another hidden strings off, and that is not going to be good. We want to keep our mana up. We want to be able to play things, so we'll just take the damage and see what happens and go from there. So he's going to be casting another hidden string so he can untap his blocker and untap a land. So he probably has some tricks up his sleeve still in his hand. Sadly, we didn't have any of those Advent of the Worms in our starting hand, so Rootborn Defense is not something we want to see because we cannot really do anything with it. We can get our growing ranks out there and be ready for next turn, but he's going to be swinging for 2, 3, 7 damage next turn, possibly more. We'll see. Whoops. Tap our lands right there. Might as well just get that out of the way, and hopefully we can get a much better hand next turn, because I think we're probably going to lose this one. He had a really aggressive hand, and that hidden strings is definitely deadly against this deck. He can tap down our blockers, swing through, and untap his guys again to block, as well as just pump them up in general. So it's not ideal for us, but hopefully we can get going soon. Otherwise we are going to fall behind very quickly. So he's going to tap down, and I am debating on just sort of chump blocking here. Oh no, he got another hidden strings. Okay, well, we're just going to concede, because 2 hidden strings we definitely can't deal with. I am thinking we are going to bring the Last Breaths in. Take the Stronic Resonators out. Those are definitely too slow, and we'll probably see how that goes. Would like to play first, and not good. Mulligan to 6. Well, we got an Advent of the Worm. Hopefully he mulligans to 5. And he is going to mulligan. Let's hope we don't lose this one, because that'll be quite sad. But he is playing an aggressive deck, so not really in our favor. So we do have our Elvish Mystic. So we are just going to play our Guildgate, get that out of the way, and get our Elvish Mystic on board. Next turn we can hold up mana to play our Advent of the Worm. And we got our Sylvan Caryatid. So I think we actually can just play our Sylvan Caryatid, swing in for 1. No, actually we'll just we'll leave our Advent of the Worm up. And just play it on the end of his turn. Then we can Sylvan Carry it, and it'll be fine with us. Get that on the field, and there we go. Now we're rolling. Now we're cooking with gas. So we'll just keep swinging with that, and I think next turn we might just chump block with Elvish Mystic and just have an excuse to populate. We definitely want to try and out-aggress this guy. And we can always trample over his guy still for damage, so he can prevent damage, but still, at least we can sort of get something going. Then we get a Sylvan Carried it out, so we can hopefully block, excuse me, against his guy if he doesn't decide to pump it up. But it's fine. Losing Sylvan Carried at this point is sort of irrelevant. It's perfectly fine with us. So hopefully we can pull into some more ways to populate, because at this point, as long as we have ways to populate, we should be able to just keep him on a 3-turn clock. Or at least start getting rid of his guys. He is going to start having to use this stuff defensively, I think. And he's going to have a Phalanx Leader. He doesn't have a way to pump it, so he's not attacking, which is nice for us. Call of the Conclave, might as well. It's another way for us to populate if we need to, and another way for us to swing in with Rootborn defenses up. So, might as well just get that out of the way. Get a 3/3 on the field. And just keep swinging in with our Worm. If by chance he is going to double block it, it is perfectly fine with us. He is going to be on a 2-turn clock if he keeps doing this anyways. So we'll just leave mana up for Rootborn defenses. You know, I don't think he's running any removal in this deck. This blue-white heroic decks don't usually use much removal. Hidden Strings. Alright. Alright. So he's going to tamp down the blockers, I'm assuming. Untapping his land, eh? Okay. Well, he must be wanting to play more creatures. Either that or he has more enchantments. Probably play maybe something like a Equus form on favored Hoplite to allow himself to get another trigger off on Hidden Strings and to allow himself to pump up some more. So he is going to play another Hidden Strings, so he gets to tap down another one of my guys, and he gets quite buff. And his Phalanx Leader is going to get more triggers off on all his guys. But it's okay. I think we might just Rootborn defenses on this turn to be able to swing in for lethal if he does happen to swing in with both his guys anyways, because we can just chump block, make our guys indestructible, populate our Worm, and then just swing in with both the Worms for 10 unless he has some way to untap them. He might have Triton tactics, but then we should be able to run over his guys anyways, I think. God's willing. So he is protection as well. Protection against... what did he choose? Probably green, I'm assuming, considering that's all I have on the field. So we can't block anyways. We are going to block against this guy to save some damage, but also give us an excuse to Rootborn defenses. Get another Worm token out there, and he is going to be dead next turn because he has no mana up, and he swung out. Ooh, although he is going to be able to bring up both his blockers next turn. But he has no mana, so he can untap his guys. They'll still be able to... They'll die, though. They'll die next turn if he decides to block, which he will have to block both of them. Oh, actually, his favorite Hoplite won't. So that sucks. Celestia Charm. Actually, that's alright. We can kill off both his guys. So we are going to just swing in with all our guys, get as much damage in as possible. We could care less about Centaur, it's just another way for us to get damage in. And then we can... Ooh, should have actually Celestia Charms and exiled Favorite Hoplite beforehand. That was a mistake. Might as well put Trample on to Worm. Well, I mean, either way, we can get rid of it. Either way, we can get rid of it, but I think doing it this way, we can at least get some damage off. 7/7, get a little bit more damage off. Yeah. We'll just do that. Kill off his favorite hoplite. Centaur's gonna die, but that's okay. Other worm gets the full amount of damage off, so it's fine by us. Hidden Strings is gone. And just to avoid him getting hidden strings triggers off on that guy, I think we're just going to chump block with our Elvish Mystic. Because we do not want him to get another hidden strings off to be able to untap his stuff. But we do win the game. He did not pull what he needs to do to win this. Lucky for us. And we are just going to keep this going, I think. Again, this deck has a lot of work, as you can see. It's very inconsistent, especially with the starting hands. I just need to... I don't know why. I've never get good draws on this deck, and I don't know, maybe it's because of the amount of non-creature stuff we're running. I think I might have to start adding in more creatures. But again, those Voices of Resurgences being $30, $35 a pop, not exactly ideal for us, and this is not an ideal hand for us either. If we would have had a Advent of the Worm instead of a Celestial Charm, it would have been nice, but we will match his 6 and mulligan to 6, I think. Otherwise, this might be a little bit too slow for us. Or we can play it, and hopefully we pull into that Advent of the Worm, because we do have our Root Moon defenses. I think we'll keep it. We'll try it. Hopefully mulligans to 5, then 4, then 3, then concedes. But he is going to play Plains. Does he have a turn 1 play? Looks like he might. He is thinking upon it. That would suck for us because we have absolutely nothing. Soldier of the Pantheon. Interesting. Good card against us. So we might as well get these guild gates out of the way. No other use for them. We have no turn 1 play. So we are going to probably just Sylvan Caryatid next turn. We could call the Conclave, but we are already on the aggression. Don't think it's going to matter too much. So we're starting to get more lands. Not really what we want to see. But we definitely want to see that Advent of the Worm next turn, I think. And then we can play that. That would be nice. That would be very nice. I think he missed his land drop, though, so that is very nice for us. Ooh. I think we will just block. Just in case he does pump. We don't want to lose our Sylvan Caryatid, I don't think. Swift Justice. Alright, well, I guess we're going to lose it anyways. We'll take some damages. Ugh. Now is definitely where we want to start seeing our... Advent of the Worm. Because we have a lot of ways to populate now. I think we just play another Sylvan Caryatid. He's missing his land drop, so that's good for us, but at this point, you know, he is on the aggression, and we have no ways to sort of stop that. I think we just take the damage just in case he has a pump, but I think I might just want to get rid of his pumps. Get rid of his pumps while he has it. But he doesn't look like he has it, so he's just going to play another favorite Hoplite. And we got Druid's Deliverance, so not good for us either. I think at this point we just call the Conclave. He's going to get some life off of this stuff, but don't really have much of a choice. And I think we might just want to start... I think we'll save Wake the Reflections and Rootborn the Fences for when we get Advent of the Worm. We can use Selesnya Charm to kill off one of his guys if he decides to block. But I might save it just in case one of his guys start getting big from pumping it up. And I think we might just Druid's Deliverance next turn. Take the damage, but we can just get a Centaur token off of it. And then get some damage on the swing back, maybe. I don't know. He just... At this point, it's a little bit tough for us. So I could see what he has. We can Selesnya Charm, Centaur, or we could Druid's Deliverance and just populate off of that. I think we try and see what he has. Just in case he does get some pumps off. Centaur is not multicolored, so I think I just want to kill that off. And at least if he pumps it up. So he is going to be killing off our Centaur if we don't do anything. So I think we are going to Rootborn Defenses. We need to start turning on the aggression, though. He is starting to gain some life ahead of us. We are quite behind now at this point. And there's what we want to see. We want to see that. That is what we want to see. Now the question is when to play it. Swing in, we got to start getting some damage out. And we can always just Advent of the Worm on the end of his turn. And he is missing a lot of land drops, so... Alright, well he tapped out for that. We want him to swing in with his guys. And he has no mana to save them, so... He is going to get some life, but at this point, as long as we can get our Advent of the Worm out there, he should lose life as quickly as he gained it. So perfectly fine for us. We are going to block off his stronger guy. Gonna take some damage, that's fine with us. We might as well Wake the Reflections now, though. Now, I think Brave the Elements is going to be a problem for us, of course, but it's alright. We got Selesnya Charm, we got Druid's Deliverance, we can populate on the swing back. So he's going to be taking a lot of damage here, so as you can see, once we get one worm token down there and have our populate triggers going, this deck can prove quite well. So luckily he was stuck on land, otherwise we probably definitely would have lost this. And I think next turn we are just going to Druid's Deliverance, and then we'll be swinging for lethal. I think regardless, because we can always give our Centaur tokens trample, as well as everything else. So I think Hidden Strings isn't going to help him either. We can just trample over his guys. So that should be fine. Because Worm has trample, we can give both our Centaurs trample. Ordeal of Thassa, eh? Ordeal of Thassa. Interesting. Not really going to help him here, I don't think. So he's just going to attack with him, I think, because he can protect... Well, no, I think... Can't tell if Advent of the Worm, does it produce a green token? Ah, yeah, he isn't multicolored, so he can't protect a Soldier of Pantheon from that. But that's just alright. We are just going to use this chance to Druid's Deliverance and just not block. Because we just want to populate on his turn. That's pretty much the only reason why I'm playing it. Otherwise, of course, I can just block. Doesn't really matter there, but it's okay. We got Tristani Summoner, a little bit too late for that. That's fine. We can just swing in for the win here. Because we got Selesnya trying to make these guys trample and 5/5, so pretty much swing in for a butt ton of damage. And as you can see, once we had our worm tokens going, he lost life as quickly as he gained it. So it is all good. All good in the hood. And we win. So luckily we came back from that. A little bit scary there. I think the only reason why I won that last game was because that he was stuck on land. Otherwise, I think he would have definitely out-aggressed me. But, you know, it happens, and luckily we started coming back. So at the end, at least, you got to see exactly what this deck can sort of do once it gets one Advent of the Worm token going, or at least one token in general. It can sort of steamroll. This is sort of referencing to what I was saying before of how it was sort of a steamroll deck where it's slow to get going, but once it does, it can sort of run over everything it has. And luckily we had some good draws. But there's the match. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and it was definitely fun playing it and actually finally doing a live commentary for once. It's definitely harder to do these live commentaries. I find I do make a lot more mistakes when I talk, but you know, it's a learning experience, and hopefully you guys enjoy watching them. And I will definitely talk to you guys later. Definitely leave some comments down below if you like this video. Like, comment, and subscribe as well. And be sure to check out my other videos if you haven't. And if you have any suggestions for this deck, please leave them, and I will definitely get back to you. And also just use them in my decks, of course. Should also mention, if you haven't seen the deck tech, I do mention that I know there are better cards I could be running, but things such as Voices of Resurgence are just a little bit too expensive, and even stuff like Shocklands are a little bit too expensive for me at the moment. But I do know they exist, and I would like to run them, yes, but I just don't have the funds. So please don't repeat that. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and have a great day.